Hi all, Planetside Agent here. Today I'm going to show you another gasifier wood stove that I just built. Actually, I'm still got a couple more things yet to do on it, but I wanted to do this part of the video first. But what I did is I made it out of, well, I think I was cooking something the other day and I had two cans left over, and the cans were, one was a mushroom can with the pull top, and then the other was a this size, what is that, 15 ounce or something, tomato, diced tomato can, and it had, well, this one doesn't. This is the kind you take off with a can opener. But anyway, let me show you what I did was with the pull top, which leaves a little bit of a lip here, and I was just rinsing these things out, taking the labels off to throw them in the recycle, and I kind of realized, I wondered, I wonder if these would fit one inside the other, and they could make a stove, kind of based on the idea of the one that's made with the quart paint can gasifier stove. So I go, oh, that'll fit right in there. I wonder if I can make a gasifier stove out of it. So yesterday I decided to give it a whirl. So yeah, these do fit in here. And then for the pot stand, I took the another, like this can, and I got one that has the little indentation that's on them so that the cans will nest in the store nicely. And I thought, yeah, this would be perfect for the pot stand, because it nests in here and it's, you know, not going to slide off. It sits in there pretty nice, so when you put your cup on here, it's pretty stable. And since it's smaller, you don't need the little trivets like I did on the other gasifier stove, because it was so wide. This will fit, you know, about any 350 or 750 milliliter type pot, or this guy here. So yeah, they fits in pretty good. So yeah, I went ahead and built it, and you can see I've already burn tested it. I wanted to before I did the video, I wanted to make sure this is gonna work. So I kind of designed it similar to what I found with the paint can gasifier stoves. So anyway, I'll explain what I did. I don't know if I'll do a separate video or I'll stick it on the end of this video, depending on how long this one runs. A burn test to show you this thing burning. So one thing I have left to do, I'll just cover that now, is that when I did the burn test on this, it did gasify and it burned really nice. I was really quite pleased with it being so small. Well, that's the other thing I need to do too, is get the weight on it. I was going to go get my scale. But anyway, one thing I did notice was that when this sat in here, you can see, well, there's obviously a little gap where the two stoves, this just sets on top there. I did notice that it did gasify. The gases would come out from around between the two cans and actually light up, so it had a pretty high flame on it. I didn't burn test it with the pot stand, because I wasn't going to build the pot stand until I found out that this was going to work. So after it worked, then I went back in and I built the pot stand, and I'll cover how I did all of this stuff now. But the next thing I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to solder these two cans together. That way they won't be coming out, and then hopefully it'll gasify through the little jets on the inside, which actually it was gasifying through these, and then it was also coming out the top. So we'll see how that works out. So I'm gonna, after I do the video, I'm going to try soldering these two together, and then I'll do a burn test. But I wanted to, before I solder them together, I wanted to show this part of the video so you can see how everything kind of fit together. So to start with, I started on the construction. I just took the can and I put in, what do we got? 12. There's 12 half-inch holes, and they're on 3/4 inch centers. So if you want to build one yourself, and say it does burn pretty nice. I use these step bits to drill in. First I drilled a pilot hole, and then I used these, and I went down for the, this one goes up to a 1/2 inch, so I went all the way down to the 1/2 inch and did 12 of those holes. So that worked really well. In order to lay them out, what I do here is I got my little templates. Right now I just got them, I just used masking tape, and first thing I did was I went around the can so I could get the diameter. Then I just laid this out, and then just marked off my 3/4 inch centers, and then used a punch to punch in the holes so that the drill bit, the pilot bit, wouldn't drift on me when I tried to drill the hole. So, and then I just put the tape back on there, punched the holes, and as you can see, I've already drilled through these holes, so I can use this template many times. I even labeled it this time. That's what I have to gas. And then let's see what else I was going to say about this part. Oh well, so yeah, and I just re-taped. Oh, and but I centered it. I wanted to center the holes to make sure they got on the smooth part of the bottom of the can. So I probably could have had them a little bit closer to this end, but it still works out quite well. For the pot stand, basically I used the same measurements, the 12, although this only has 10 holes, and I used the same 3/4 inch center, 1/2 inch holes for the pot stand. Since I have it here, I'll just go over how I did that. So what I did was I left out two holes, and then I cut. So I just did 10 holes, and then I just took a cutter tool and then cut this out here for the a little cutting wheel to cut this out and this out here. To get the bottom out, I just drilled a whole bunch of small holes all the way around. Then I took the small cutting wheel and cut between each one till it popped out, and then I just took a grinding wheel and ground it off nice and smooth, and then ground all this stuff off. Took some of the sharp edges off all of these. So yeah, it came out pretty good. So that was the main can and the pot stand. Next, I started on the burner can, and let me grab this real quick. Grab the garbage. Yeah, as you can see, here's the bottom that I cut out of the pot stand. Like I said, I just drilled a whole bunch of little holes, and then it was just easy to use a little grinding wheel to knock it off, and then yeah, got this little thing here. So anyway, okay, for the burner can, I wanted for the gasification jets or openings, I used their 16 7/32 holes on 1/2 inch center. So between each of these is a 1/2 inch. And again, I used the same template style. I just used the tape, went around, and then just like I did the other can, punched them out and drilled them out. Drill out the pilot holes, then I take it off to drill out. And actually I used this step bit for that one, and I went down to the 7/32. I was going to make it a 1/4, but the 7/32 look good, but I imagine the 1/4s would work too. There's enough room between each of these that you can do that. Okay, now and again I measured down because I wanted the holes to be in the flat part of the can here. Okay, then for the bottom, a little bit different since you don't have that flat piece on it, so I had to make a separate template so it'd have the distance I wanted on this. But it's the same thing, 16 holes, 16 7/32 holes, 1/2 inch centers. It's the exact same thing. But what I did was I put the center of the hole in the first little divot here on the can, the little ring here. So So that gave me enough room between the bottom and of the can. Okay, and then also, and these are vents for the fire, and also I wanted plenty of ventilation so you can get a nice clean burn. I went ahead and put and drilled out a bunch of holes in the bottom too, so it's pretty well perforated. So it does get real good airflow. Like I said, I've already burn tested this. You can see inside the scoring, and so yeah, that was it. And then just drop this in here, and I got myself a stove. Like I said, what I'm going to do to keep the gas from leaking out, and not that I don't know that would really be a problem. I guess, you know, you guys didn't want to have to do all that soldering. I'm sure the stove would still work just fine in this case, like this. But yeah, I don't know how. I wonder if we put this on here, that would basically seal it in so it would vent more from the these holes here. I guess I could try that before I soldering it. So, but I think I might just solder. The only trouble is I'm afraid when I solder it that it might fill too much of a gap, so this wouldn't seat nicely. But I don't think that'll be the problem. I'm just gonna. I got some really thin solder here. I'm just going to lay it in there, and then I'm just gonna take my torch and see if that's gonna work. Hopefully I won't mess it up. I guess you'll find out after I do it to finish up this video. So let's see. Anything else to say before I do my soldering and then go out and do the burn test? Nope. Can't think of anything right now. I think I hope I covered it. I guess you know, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and make in the comments. Also, I'll go ahead and put links to my paint can gasifier stove, which I got right here. You know, this guy here. And in case you're interested, I'll just put links so you don't have to go hunt them down through all my other videos. I got several different videos I made on this gas can stove. In fact, yeah, one of them I actually show, you know, drilling the holes and all for the other one. So if you're interested in seeing how that's done, I'm not going to do that on this. Like I said, I could have made this a how-to showing you how to do it, but I wasn't sure whether it's going to work or not, and I didn't want to do a video and find out it failed. But it does work, and it's cool, small. Let me, yeah, I'll turn this off for now. I'm going to go weigh the whole thing for you. I meant to do that ahead of time, and then I'm going to do the solder, and then I'll do the burn test, and we'll get back to you. Okay, I went and got my scale, and the whole setup without the solder, that's going to add a little bit of weight. Probably push it up to 3 ounces. Maybe I'll measure it. But right now it's 2.8 ounces, so it's less than 3 ounces for this stove. So that's a nice lightweight little stove. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get to the soldering, and then we'll do a burn test. Okay, ready to do the test burn before the wind starts to pick up. Anyway, I got the stove all loaded up. I got a little extra wood here and some sticks, and I also have down here 2 cups of water. Might try to do a boil test. But anyway, let's go ahead and fire this up. This bright sunlight, you're probably not going to be able to see much. Let's see. Starting to go a little bit. I think that smoke's coming off of the, I've got a little fat wood in there that I scraped off. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause till it gets going good. So this is really not much to see right now. Okay, burning pretty good. I do see some gasification effect. I get in the shadow, probably see it better. You can see the little bit of flame coming out of those vent holes. Hope you can see that. Okay, a little higher there. Probably not the best lighting for this, but it's what I got. I was gonna do it yesterday, but it was just too windy. So there you go. So it's going pretty good. I'm gonna put a few more sticks on and then put the pot on, see how that goes. I think these stoves, yeah, I'm not an expert, I haven't done a lot of burning with these kind of stoves, but my initial impressions are that they require quite a bit of tending because they are so efficient. They go through the fuel pretty fast. So I'm gonna move over here. Let's see. You can see some gasification going on. I think as long as I keep the fire going with extra sticks, it can be, oh yeah, there's some nice gasification going on right there, if you can see it or not. Let's see if we get in there a little bit. There you go. I don't know if you can see those coming out of those vent holes. Pretty good. So it does work. Actually, I'm quite happy with the way this stove turned out. It's kind of cool. I don't know how practical it is. I imagine you could use it if you wanted to. It's nice and light. Like I said, I think you have to tend them quite a bit because they tend to go out fast. But I think the bigger the stove, the probably more efficient, or at least manageable to manage the flame, because you have more wood supply. You don't have to keep stocking it up and all. But no, actually this is it is gasifying. It's gasifying. I see the flames and the little jets coming out. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's see if I can zoom in. There you go. Oh yeah. I think you can kind of see that. Keep it fed. I don't know, I might not have enough wood to get a boil. Oops. I smothered it a little bit. I've only field used one of these stoves one time on an overnight kayak trip. I brought the Gasifier, which is actually made in Eugene, Oregon. Oh yeah, there's a nice flame. And just cooked my meal on that, and it worked fine. You get a knockoff of that from Lexata that are very similar to the Gasifier, really cheap, much cheaper. But oh yeah, oh man, there's some real nice gasification. I don't know if you can see that or not. You can see the flame coming up out of those little holes. Oops, come on, where are you? There we go. Sorry. Yeah, I've got the light on my screen, the sunlight, which just makes it hard to see. There you go. Oops. Yeah, it burns up and then it's gone. Yeah, I think I'm gonna going to take quite a bit of tending before we get to a boil. It does gasify. I'm starting to see some bubbling in the pot. It might come to a boil. I didn't really time it. Didn't put my watch on. You know, the timer I have is on the phone, so, and that's being used. So, oh yeah, it's working. That was not the best place to put this can. There's a bit of heat coming off here and burnt my hand. Putting that can so close, my wood can so close to the fire. Get in there. Yeah, one of my viewers commented that he likes watching these things burn, and I said, well, I don't really do that much with it, and then I thought about doing this stove, so I hope he gets to see this and he's happy. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Looks like it does gasify. It does burn pretty clean. But like I said, it takes a lot of tending, I think, to get 2 cups of water boiling. Let's see. Yeah. Well, this might boil this water. Oh yeah. I don't think I have any other wood handy right now. I guess if you're going to use one of these, you better have a good pile of wood. Of course, you know, when you're just using little twigs, you're going to go through those much faster than if you had a bigger stove and you could put some, you know, 1/2 inch or even inch size sticks in there. It'd burn a lot longer. It goes through wood pretty quick, but anyway, I think I'll pause this for a bit. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap this up, even though I don't have a boil yet. I don't know if you can see in there, it is getting some steam off of there and a little bit of bubbling. So it was warming up. I imagine with enough time and twigs ready, you could get a boil. It's not going to be rocket fast, that's for sure. But in the end, it does burn, it does gasify, so that aspect of the stove is good. So I'd say I just did this for fun. It was, like I said, it was kind of fun. I kind of like the way this turned out. Pretty happy with that. But whether it's practical or not, I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to decide if you want to build this. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.